recognize the folks who have been the movers and shakers in our industry and give some credit to the folks who along the way have helped make a meaningful change for all of us, for our jobs, for our industry, for the money that flows through the vendors, and for the way that providers are able to provide online digital experiences. And so that's what the purpose of our awards presentation is. We're giving, we have two separate presentations today. The first one is the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame, and the second one is the John Moody's Vision and Excellence Award. And to kick things off, I'm going to turn this over to Rochelle Montagna, and she's going to talk a little bit about the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame.
Hi everyone, I'm excited to be able to represent the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame today. I am one of those people that have been coming to the Healthcare Internet Conference since the 1900s, I like to say. Not quite 97, I think my first one was 1999. I'm really excited at how much it's grown and the influence that we've been able to have over the industry all these years. But today, as Mike said, we want to reflect on not only on the great influence that some of the people within our industry have contributed to help us grow. So talking a little bit about the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame, we started this back in 2011 to honor individuals and organizations, both provider and service organizations or vendors, who are making outstanding contributions to the healthcare, internet, or digital industry. So we really felt like we needed a place to be able to look back and reflect on how far we've come. We've got a website. It's HIHOF.com. And there we have all of the previous winners. And it's kind of fun to look back and reflect on where we have come, how much things have changed over the last 20 years, 20 years in the industry, but since 2011 that we've been giving these awards. There's a board of judges. These are the members of the board of judges. I don't know how many of us are in the room today, but if you are, if you want to stand up, we can recognize you. There's 15 of us. And definitely recognize them because they're contributing their time and their expertise to help preserve this. Find them, talk to them. This is a great group of people, and it's fun to work with them. Having said that, if you are interested in becoming a judge, we're always looking for more people to join. Some people join, some people move off, so please, if you're interested, submit an application at hihof.com. It does say our complete, I don't think we have information cards, but there is a HIHOF exhibit or area lounge in the exhibit hall. So if you're interested there, to come talk to somebody there as well. One of the things that our current panel of judges talk a lot about is really wanting to be able to have an opportunity not only to recognize people through the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame, but also give back. And so we're really trying to push and promote and build a mentorship program. Lots of great expertise of those people that are currently on the judges panel. We want to be able to give back. And so if you are out there and are interested in being connected with a mentor, if you have a particular problem or thing that you want to focus on or learn, let us know. Again, you can submit on the website, let us know that you're interested, and we will connect you with someone who has that particular level of expertise. Please take advantage of it. We're really excited about it, and it's something that we're all dedicated and committed to providing to you. Without further ado, we'll talk about the class of 2022 inductees. We've got 2 innovative individuals and 1 innovative organization. So we're looking again at people who have been active in the healthcare internet industry for at least 5 years. The 2 that have won today, I think, have both been in for over 20 years. They're leaders and role models and have really brought significant change in the industry and very influential over the course of the time that they've been working with us. So the first one is John Berg. John is the Senior Vice President of Valtech Health. He has been the President and CEO of the Berg Group, or TVG, since 1991. So he has been a long-term experienced person within this industry. He's a 7-time Sitecore MVP, was a longtime leader on the Sitecore Partner Advisory Council. Again, he's been working as a digital entrepreneur since 1991, at which he founded his company at the age of 23. He has experience leading hundreds of major digital ecosystem redesigns, many from outside of healthcare, so General Electric, Sports Authority, M&T Bank, and the U.S. immigration system. But for the last 16 years, his work has really been focused on healthcare, and he's been able to have some long-term clients that he's worked with, clients like Johns Hopkins Medicine, Penn Medicine, University of Maryland Medical System, Christus Health, and over 30 other consumer health and retail brands. He's an expert in digital healthcare and consumer health system digital strategy. He really is also an expert in digital operations, omnichannel engagement, privacy and customer data. He's co-founder of the Consortium of Personalization Professionals. And he is really self-taught. He's a very brilliant individual, and it's really exciting to have him here today. John.
It's very lovely to get this award. I started coming to HCIC maybe 9 years ago, so I'm unfortunately not one of the great old timers of this conference, but it has really paralleled a lot of the more important parts of our experience in consumer healthcare, and also been a great place to learn things. We had about 15 years of working in other sectors, and it was really all over the place. It was great, but we pulled some amazing cards when we did about 16 years ago now, a dual redesign project for Wake Forest Baptist Health System in Winston-Salem. And that one project we did a really good job on, and it led to tremendous interest in the issues of consumer healthcare, digital operations. And basically I took over, it was like a virus that took over our world. And so today it's 95% of what we do in consumer healthcare. It's really also lovely to win this, or to get this recognition this year, because at the beginning of this year, our company joined Valtech, which was an organization that I have been following for maybe 6 years. That was my absolute favorite digital agency in the world, a 5,500-person international agency, very substance-focused. And Valtech was very active in Europe in healthcare, which is, of course, different than the U.S. A lot of public sector, a lot of pharma, a lot of medical device manufacturers. But we were able to join Valtech, and so with tremendously amplified capabilities, resources, lots of extra knowledge, it's a great year for us to sort of relaunch that, and it's just really nice to get this award at the same time. So thank you all, and I'm really glad to be here.
The second individual that we want to recognize today is Ben Dillon.
You're the man, Ben.
Ben's been around a while as well. He's been coming here for a long time as well. So he started working in healthcare in 1997 as working on the in-house EMR at the University of Iowa Healthcare. In 2000, though, he joined Geometric, and that's where he's been ever since. One of the things that was interesting in talking to him, he said, well, I started developing and sharing thought leadership webinars in 2002, so 20 years ago. And I said, webinars? 20 years ago? Wow. And he said, yeah, we actually had to build our own interface to be able to accomplish that. I was like, wow, that was very thought leadership for you back then. He was actually one of the inaugural judges for the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame Awards. So we definitely am appreciative of his support there to help continue this legacy. He's been an eHealthcare Leadership Award judge since 2003. He's chaired or co-chaired the HIMSS eHealth Special Interest Group for multiple years, for about 5 years. He's a part of the editorial advisory board for eHealthcare Strategy and Trends. Has been doing that for a number of years. He was also on the Shishman Board of Directors for multiple years, and even served as president in 2018. One of the other things that he and his team at Geometric have done is since 2005, they do an annual, or almost annual, Healthcare Digital Marketing Trends Survey that has a lot of great information, and they share that broadly across the industry. This is a good way, of watching and managing trends across the industry. So thrilled to be able to present them with the Innovative Award this year.
Judges, having done that, it's a lot of work, and I appreciate what all you put into this. These are ostensibly individual awards, but we know they're really not. So a huge shout out to the team that has been behind me, supporting me in everything that I've done over the last 2 decades with Geometric, and also to the several hundred healthcare organizations that I've had the opportunity to collaborate with, to work with, and to do great things with. It's been a real pleasure to be part of the successes that you guys have had as well. So thanks again, and I kind of do that thing from this morning, the rock star thing. It's like that was really
Congratulations, Ben. This year we have one innovative organization, and this organization, what we are looking for are people who are early adopters or inventors of applications, interactivity, and functionalities, and just have been people who have been leaders within the organization, within healthcare, pushing things forward. The organization that we are recognizing this year is Kairos. Across key health system access points. And that's powered by using the same underlying provider data platform. They are a 3-time winner of the MedTech Breakthrough Award for Best Patient Scheduling Solution, including back-to-back wins in 2020 and 2021. This last year, they've been really busy. They've expanded online scheduling beyond provider appointments to also enable self-scheduling for convenience care sites, vaccines, virtual care visits, imaging services, and much more. They were the first to offer a finder provider translated into Spanish, and that solution is won an award. They also offer novel in-app analytics, including network supply demand analytics and the ability to benchmark against the rest of the Kairos customer base. So they also recently acquired HealthSmart, which allows them to continue to expand their services. And I think not included in the slide is another recent acquisition of Epion. So continuing to expand, continuing to push the envelope, continuing to grow. They're definitely a very innovative organization, and I'm excited to give you the award today.
On behalf of Kairos, thank you so much for this incredible acknowledgement. I think that we have had the opportunity to work with so many incredible healthcare organizations along the way that have, continued to push us to innovate. With 2023 around the corner, we have a lot of excitement and look forward to continued innovation. Thank you.
So if you're interested in nominating, if you feel like you or someone that you know or an organization that you know has really meets those qualities and those criteria of what we're looking for the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame, nominate yourself or nominate them. So congratulations again to all of you. Thank you. We're giving away another award today, and I'm going to turn it back over to Mike Schneider with Greystone. But before I do that, I just want to kind of re-plug the mentoring program that HiHop has done. And I actually had the opportunity of having one of the best mentors in the industry, John Uniz, which is this award that is being given next. John and I worked with John for about 10 years. My office was right next door to him for about 10 years. I got to hear him, although I couldn't always hear his voice, I always heard his animated conversations, and got to really work very closely with John over the course of 10 years. And he was such a huge visionary of the industry. I don't want to steal too much thunder for Mike because I think he's coming right up. But I remember I mentioned my first healthcare internet conference was I think 1999, and I remember I was about 5 years old. I was in my early 20s, so excited, full of energy, so excited, bright-eyed, just going to change everything. And I walk into the exhibit hall, and there's probably 50 people in line at the exhibit hall, at our exhibit booth. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I better get there and start working and telling people what we do at Greystone. And I walk up and say, hi, I'm Rochelle, it's a pleasure to meet you. Can I tell you more about Greystone? And they're like, it's great to meet you too, but I'm here to talk to John. And it was like the next person, I'm here to talk to John, I'm here to talk to John. And it was like, wow, he really is influential. I didn't recognize that until that first year that I was here. I really got to see, wow, what it was that he was doing for the industry. And just, we see his presence here today, and it's just continued to grow. And so really thrilled that we do this award every year, because it's a great way to recognize John, because he still has touched so many of us and continues to be with us all the time. So I'm going to hand that over to Mike.
Having that opportunity to work together with John, and Kathy and I working together with John, and many of us. But it's interesting because as time goes on, obviously, people enter and exit our industry. We have young people that come in, and some of us get older. And fewer people know John. So when I stand up here and I talk about John, I can tell you about him. But the truth is, his legacy lives on because this conference was really part of his vision. And also the idea of networking and the idea of recognizing folks. John wanted us to have an awards program. John wanted us to recognize people in the industry who were leaders. And so when you meet somebody like that, because you can probably close your eyes and think to yourself about somebody in your life who was like that, you say, that person was remarkable. And that person is a catalyst. That person is the kind of person that when you run across them in your life, whoever they are, if they're John Unis or they're somebody else, there's somebody that helps you be a better person. There's somebody that helps the industry move further along. And so those are the kind of individuals that we look for when we think about giving this award. This is a Lifetime Achievement Award. This is an award that we like to give to somebody who's remarkable. I've got these advanced slides, and I'm just going to delete all of them one day. who makes a lasting and significant contribution to the industry. And so this year's award goes to Paul Matson. Paul's the Chief Marketing and Communications Officer at Cleveland Clinic. And so let's give him a round of applause. So I'm super excited to give this award to Paul, because Paul is one of those guys. Paul's one of those guys that when you meet Paul, if you know Paul, when you hear about Paul, you realize that you've come across somebody who takes things to the next level. Paul's a remarkable individual. And I encourage you to go out, if you don't know Paul or you haven't met Paul before, to not only introduce yourself to him, but also go online, type in Paul Matson, and you'll see just how remarkable this man is. He's cited on sites for Wall Street Journal, for Forbes, for Ad Age, for Becker's. You'll find his podcast on Spotify. He gives back and contributes back to the industry, which is one of those things that is a hallmark of people who are real contributors to all of us. Paul's fundamentally an optimist. He's a guy who has been through a lot. He's been through a lot of things in each aspect of his career. And he takes the negatives or the pivots that are happening, and he turns those into a positive. He's a rational person who looks at that and tries to figure out how do we get to the next step, how do we get past this, how do we take this in a positive spin. He's an innovative individual. He embraces innovation in every organization Paul's been involved in. He's looked at what's next. Where are we going with all of this? He's overcome huge obstacles. He's the kind of person who has a vision and has a plan and has a way to get out of it. And when you're in trouble or when things are not going well, you want somebody like Paul to be next to you to kind of help you move forward. He's been an early adopter with a lot of things. I know at Cleveland Clinic, for example, one of the things that he initiated and was part of was the original social media plan that they started with back in 2008. So if you can imagine, what social media was like for all of us in 2008. Many of us were wondering where it was going in healthcare. Cleveland Clinic was taking that and moving forward with it. He really has had kind of three major phases in his career. So when he started his career, he actually started in an ad agency. And he worked with Young and Rubicon in New York City. And he worked with clients like Kool-Aid and the U.S. Army and Kentucky Fried Chicken. Then he transitioned to Delta. And at Delta Airlines, Paul held several major roles. He was in marketing, he was also responsible for operations, and at the senior level of the organization, he was doing consumer marketing, but he was also managing the frequent flyer program and the innovations that were created in that fantastic frequent flyer program that I'm also still a part of today. He was part of the SkyTeam Global Alliance, and I can remember sitting on the plane 20 years ago and thinking what a fantastic idea this was, where they were bringing international airlines together and they co-marketed with each other and you could share miles if you were on KLM. And so there were a lot of really amazing things, and Paul was part of all of that. Paul was also at Delta during 9/11. And so as you can imagine, that changed the airline industry dramatically. And in one of the podcasts that I was listening to where Paul was speaking, he was talking about how you think of that as being a once-in-a-lifetime mega event, and hopefully this never happens again. And so Paul goes off to Cleveland Clinic, and we have COVID. And so once again, something like this that just revolutionizes and changes the whole industry happens to this man twice in a lifetime. So again, I'm not going to tell the whole Paul Madsen story. There's a lot that you can learn more about Paul online, but he's done some remarkable things at Cleveland Clinic since he's been there. And without further ado, I'd like to give this award this year, the 2022 John Hughes Award to Paul Madsen.
I'd like to say thank you to the whole Greystone team, to Kathy and Mike, for recognizing me with this award. I didn't have the opportunity to know John Hughes, but it's certainly a point of pride to receive an award that represents the values and the vision that John had. So I'm very proud to accept this award today. I also want to thank some of my team members who are here today. Amanda Todorovich, who oversees all of our content, digital content at Cleveland Clinic, Alan Ginsberg, who's been a strategic consultant on our digital marketing journey going all the way back to 2008 and when things started. When I started at Cleveland Clinic, we had 4 people in an internet marketing team that was part of the marketing division. And we had 15 million visits to our website that year, which wasn't bad for healthcare at that time. Fast forward to today, we have a very large integrated team across the enterprise around the world, and we'll surpass 800 million visits to our website this year, which quite an extraordinary journey. And I think if I were to impart one lesson from that to everyone who works in healthcare, because this can be a challenging industry for marketers. We often have to fight for a seat at the table, fight to get our ideas heard and funded. For us, the key has always been leaning into the next idea, trying to find ways to innovate, and trying to find ways to really demonstrate the impact that we have in advancing the mission of the organization. So with that, thanks everyone